The fog didn't roll in, it drooled. Ellie Harper watched it seep between the pines at the Chimney Tops trailhead, thick as cigarette smoke, tasting of iron and wet ash. The ranger's last words still clung to her ears, storms turning ugly. Come back at first light. She signed the logbook anyway. E. Harper. Solo. Scattering. 1847. The pen scratched like a dying insect. She climbed. Headlamp on, beam slicing a tunnel no longer than her forearm before the fog swallowed it. 10 minutes in, the batteries guttered. She slapped the plastic. Nothing. She'd swapped them at the car new Duracells. The light died with a wet click, leaving only the red ember of the power button, pulsing like a heartbeat. Darkness pressed her eardrums. Then came the smell. Scorched pine, but no fire. No lightning. Just heat rising from the trail itself, as if the mountain had swallowed a furnace. Ellie's boots stuck to the quartzite. When she lifted one, the rock peeled away in a black ribbon that curled like burnt paper. She kept moving. The path narrowed until her hips scraped both walls of the ridge. On her left, the drop. On her right, stones sweating something darker than water. She tasted it on her tongue, copper and sap. The wind carried a sound, 3 low notes, not quite singing, not quite breathing. Hum-hum, hum-hum. It matched the thud in her throat. At the first chimney, the fog parted. Not gently. It was torn open by invisible hands, revealing the summit 20 feet above, a knife edge of rock lit from beneath by something red and pulsing. Ellie's shadow stretched backward down the trail, impossibly long, as though the mountain had grown taller while she climbed. She reached the tin of ashes. Unscrewed it. The gray dust refused to fall. It rose in a spiral, each flake glowing like hot ash, orbiting her wrist before streaking upward into the red glow. The tin grew heavier in her hand, as if the mountain were pouring itself back in. When she looked again, the tin was full of wet red clay that steamed. That was when the trail vanished. Behind her, a wall of stone where the switchback had been. Ahead, a tunnel, perfectly round, exhaling heat and that 3-note pulse. The entrance glistened, wet and pink, like the inside of a mouth. Ellie's phone showed no signal, but the flashlight flared to life on its own, brighter than before, strobing in time with the hum. She stepped inside. The walls closed. Not gradually, instantly. The tunnel shrank to the width of her shoulders, then her ribcage, then the span of her clenched fists. She had to turn sideways, boots scraping. The air thickened until each breath felt like inhaling soup. 20 paces in, the flashlight caught the first jar. 7 of them. Glass, waist-high, set in a circle on the red clay floor. Inside each, smoke that moved with purpose, coiling around objects suspended in the haze. Jar 1, a pocket watch, ticking backward. Jar 2, a child's shoe, laces knotted into a noose. Jar 3, blackberries, rotting and unrotting in the same second. Jar 4, a Polaroid developing in real time, Ellie's grandmother at 16, eyes following her. Jar 7, her grandmother's locket, chain broken, photo side cracked. Ellie's scream came out a rasp. The locket's glass was warm hot, and when her fingers brushed it, the crack spread like ice under a skate. The mountain spoke inside her skull, not words but pressure. Trade. The other jars flashed. Visions slammed into her. The Cherokee hunter carving runes that bled. The deserter burying gold that melted into veins of quartz. The ranger in 73 stepping into fog, shoes left neatly on the trail, still walking. All of them humming. All of them trapped. Ellie's necklace, the silver compass her grandmother wore until the cancer took her, burned against her collarbone. The mountain wanted balance. Something hers. She unclasped it with shaking fingers. The compass needle spun, then pointed into the jar. The glass liquefied, pouring down like mercury. The locket inside aged a century in a heartbeat, gold blackening, photo curling to ash. Ellie caught it as it fell. The compass on her own chain snapped to due north, through the floor. The hollow contracted. Walls groaned, grinding closer. The clay floor bubbled, rising in red waves that lapped at her boots. From the ceiling, amber sap rained in ropes, hardening mid-fall into barbed ladders that reached for her. One snagged her sleeve, burned through the fabric, seared her skin. She smelled her own hair singing. She climbed. The ladder pulled her upward, sap sealing the tunnel behind her like a throat swallowing. Her boots slipped on the rungs. Each time she fell an inch, the mountain took a memory, a heartbeat, the taste of her grandmother's cornbread. She felt them peel away like skin. She burst onto the summit at what should have been dawn, but the sky was wrong. The sun hung low and sideways, bleeding red light across the chimneys. The fog had become a living thing, coiling into the shape of a woman with no face, arms outstretched. Ellie's shadow lay beneath her, pinned to the rock by amber spikes. The three-note hum was her own pulse, amplified until the stone vibrated. In her hand, the locket was empty. The photo gone. On the back, fresh scratches. You left the door open. The faceless fogwoman stepped forward. Ellie ran. The trail reappeared wrong, switchbacks spiraling upward into cloud. She followed because there was nowhere else. Behind her, the summit folded in on itself with a sound like bone snapping. The fogwoman's hum became a scream that wasn't sound but absence. Every bird, every insect, every thought in Ellie's head gone. She reached the trailhead at 1854. 7 minutes. The logbook lay open. Her entry was still there, but beneath it, new ink, still wet. E. Harper. Solo. Returned. 1854. The ranger station was dark. No storm. No wind. Just the smell of scorched pine lingering in her clothes. Ellie drove out of the park with the windows sealed. In the rear view, the chimneys watched, 7 fingers now clenched into a fist. At the first gas station, she opened the locket. Inside, a single amber bead, warm, pulsing. Trapped in it, her own eye blinking. Every October since, the rangers find fresh prints on the Chimney Tops trail, size 7 boots, leading up but never down. They say if you hike at dusk and the fog smells like burnt pine, don't follow the 3-note hum. Because the mountain keeps its doors open now. And it's still trading.